Golden Blue Dudes' new college basketball brackets are out. Let's take a look at them. What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I am a college football and college basketball YouTube channel, and I put out videos every single day. So whether you agree with me, want to talk trash with me, or talk trash to me, you're going to enjoy this channel. I like to go with the 48-team bracket tournament style when I come out with my brackets before it gets really late. Once it gets super late, then I can start figuring out, who's probably going to get the automatic bids for those smaller conferences. But right now, it would be a crapshoot. So I go by the top 48 teams in my mind right now. So I have 4 regions, 12 seeds, region by region. Here we go. Region number 1, of course, the number 1 overall seed, Gonzaga. 10-0, and they've beaten a lot of good teams on the way. The 2 seed, I have Michigan. They're still undefeated. They just cracked the top 10, but I have them as a 2 seed. The 3 seed is going to be Wisconsin. They're sitting there at 9-2. They have some good wins and some head-scratching losses, but I still think they're a good team. The 4th seed in this region is going to be Illinois. They're sitting there at 8-3, but most of their losses happened at the beginning of the season. They're starting to get on a roll right now. The 5 seed in this region is going to be Texas Tech. They're 8-3, and they're playing pretty good in a tough Big 12 conference. At the 6th seed in this region, I have Michigan State. They are 7-3. They're playing in a very tough Big 10. We'll see how that conference turns out. The 7th seed is going to be TCU, a sneaky good team. They're 9-2 right now, and they can pull off some upsets. The 8th seed is where I'm going to stick Duke. They're 3-2, they haven't played a lot of teams, and they haven't looked all that great either, and they're barely hanging on to their ranking. 9th seed, I'm going with Oklahoma State. They're 7-2, they're up and coming, and they have a big game against West Virginia. The 10th seed in this region is going to be USC, 6-2, out of the Pac-12. They're hit and miss, but right now they're holding steady. The 11th seed, also going to be out of the Pac-12, Washington State. They're 8-1. Haven't really seen much of them, but they've done enough to get in my brackets so far. Then the 12th seed, Xavier. They're 8-2. They were higher, but they've fallen a bit. I think they'll climb higher in this seeding as well. On to Region 2. The number 1 seed, Baylor. Undefeated, 9-0. Looking really good. The 2 seed is going to be Kansas, 8-2. I did have them as a 1 seed, but they got dominated by Texas. The 3 seed, Houston, 8-1, only have 1 loss. They've looked really good, but they've also looked a little shaky. The 4 seed in this region, I didn't see them coming. That's Minnesota. They're 10-2. They are a force to be reckoned with in an already tough Big 10 conference. The 5 seed, Virginia Tech, 8-1. I still think they could challenge for the ACC championship. The 6 seed, Virginia, 5-2. I thought they were better than what we're seeing. Maybe they can rebound throughout the season. We'll see. The 7th seed, Florida, 5-1. They're kind of under the radar, but I think Florida could be a good team, and they will play West Virginia. The 8th seed, Arkansas, 9-1. Also a sneaky good team in the SEC. The 9th seed, I have Ohio State. They're 8-3. They have looked really good, but they've also looked really bad. Which Ohio State will we get from game to game in a tough Big 10 conference? The 10 seed SMU, 6-1 out of the AAC. Not really a tough conference, but if SMU can hang with Houston, they can make a run at it. The 11 seed VCU, 8-2. People are forgetting about VCU, but I think they could be a good team. The 12 seed Drake, they're 12-0. They have some good wins. This is a team to keep an eye on. They could sneak in without an automatic bid if they have a massive season. Region 3, number 1 seed, Villanova, 8-1. They had an early loss in the season, but they are climbing back up. The 2 seed, I'm going to have Creighton, 8-2. These 2 teams will battle each other for the Big East Championship. 3 seed is going to be Tennessee, 7-1. They suffered their first loss, but they're still a high seed for now. The 4 seed is going to be Rutgers. They're 7-2. I'm waiting on Rutgers to slip up massively, but they are hanging in there in a tough Big Ten conference. The 5 seed Clemson, 8-1. They jumped into the top 25, suffered a loss, bounced back out. Now they're back in. The 6 seed I have Florida State. They're 5-2. They're a good team, but they do struggle at times. The 7 seed NC State, 6-1. They're having a good year in the ACC so far. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. The 8 seed I have Arizona, 9-1. They have issues over there, but they do have a good record. 9 seed out of the Mountain West, Boise State, 8-1. To me, they look like the best team in the Mountain West, but it's still early in the season. The 10 seed I have Wichita State. They're 6-2. They had a rough start to the season, but it looks like they're starting to build momentum. The 11 seed I have Northwestern. They do have 3 losses, 6-3, but they have some good wins in there. And then the 12 seed in Region 3, Alabama, 7-3. Don't sleep on Alabama in the SEC in basketball. Finally, Region 4, the 1 seed, Texas, 8-1. A dominating win over Kansas earns them the number 1 seed in Region 4 for me. The 2 seed I have Iowa, 9-2. They started off great, getting a little shaky, but they still look good in my eyes. The 3 seed I have Oregon, 8-1. This team is really building momentum right now. They're climbing in the polls, a lot of confidence. The Pac-12 not all that tough, so we'll see how high of a seed they can get. The 4 seed in this region, Missouri, they're 7-1. They suffered their first loss, but they have some good wins in there as well. The 5 seed, this is where I have my team, West Virginia, 8-3. Started off the season hot, close loss to Gonzaga, but then a blowout loss to Kansas, and then a terrible first half caused them to not be able to quite come back all the way against Oklahoma. A close loss, but you have to put 2 whole halves together to win in the Big 12. Number 6, I have St. Louis, 7-1. This can be a dangerous team. People do not need to take St. Louis for granted. The 7th seed, Oklahoma, the team that just beat my team, they're 6-2, and I expect them to be in the upper half of the Big 12. The 8th seed I have Louisville. They had 1 blowout loss, but overall, not a bad record. Can they challenge for the ACC championship? Right along with the 9th seed Syracuse, 6-1. We'll see how the season goes. The 10th seed UCLA, 7-2. I had them a higher seed, but I don't know. I have some questions that need to be answered. But right now, I do have them as a 10th seed. The 11th seed, LSU, another SEC team in here, 6-2. Maybe they could challenge for an SEC championship. You never know. Kentucky's out of the picture. Then the 12th seed, Marshall, 7-2. They're on top of Conference USA. They're playing pretty good. So, they're barely in my 48-team bracket for now. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next show.